Ron Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, it's one of those days, isn't it, where you come down to the House, Mr. Speaker, you've got a whole bunch of speech notes and you're ready to deliver something's prepared, and then someone stands up in the House and says something that rocks you in your shoes. And, Mr. Speaker, that's just happened with Mr. Ian Lees-Galloway's speech on immigration. You know, like the previous member said, one of the members said, the recess time gives us a chance to get out and take stock and listen to people. And we have to say, New Zealand First, we've travelled up and down the country. You know, from Invercargill to Auckland, I've been everywhere. And the message we're getting consistently is that the public actually are tired of the type of speech that Mr. Ian Lees-Galloway just gave. They're tired of one side of the House claiming that another party in this House, whose immigration policies have always been sane, sensible, population-focused, or racist and xenophobic, and now suddenly, on the back of a poll that Mr. Ian Lees-Galloway from Labor has seen, which tells him, oh my gosh, 60% of the country agrees with the Right Honourable Winston Peters and New Zealand First that immigration policy is chaotic, is out of control. Suddenly, everyone should listen to Labor. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, what people are saying out there. Red or blue, there's nothing new. National and Labor are just the same. It's like Pepsi and Coke. Tell me if one can tell the difference. One comes in a blue package, the other comes in a red package, but everyone knows 90% of the people can't tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke, and that's exactly what's happening right now. And we don't care, actually, in the argument that goes on between National and Labor on who put more police here, who's got a stronger focus on law and order, who wants to get immigration under control. We see them both as exactly the same, and so does most of New Zealand right now, who are all coming to that realisation. We go down to Invercargill, down to Gore, and who's filling my meeting? National Party farmers who've had a guts full. Well, Todd Barclay can stand up and rant, but Todd Barclay should tell the listing committee of the National Party, where's his committee gone? Where's this committee gone? Because they look at this government as being no different to the last government, and then we have Mr. Grant Robertson on Q&A telling the whole nation that trickle-down economy doesn't work. Hello? Mr. Robertson, if you hadn't realised it, but it was started by the Labor Party. It was called Rogernomics, and then National picked it up and they called it Euthanasia. The result was the same. Devastation in the provinces. And farmers out there being told they should get on and keep their chin up and handle the economic changes, whilst this government, that trumpets FTAs, which the Labor Party promoted as well, has done nothing to curb the excessive use of subsidies in these countries that they proudly proclaim they've established a free trade agreement with. Mr. Speaker, you're a farmer from a Banks Peninsula, and I know that you, Mr. Speaker, raised like me in rural New Zealand, in the Wairarapa, we know something that our grandparents told us a long time ago, and farmers down in Gore and down in Invercargill were telling us this as well. Nothing is free. Nothing. Don't come into this House and trumpet euthanasia policies or Rogernomics policies and tell us that the poor at the low end of the chain are going to benefit from that, because all the evidence shows after 30 years of rampant neoliberal experimentation started by the Labor Party that the gap between rich and poor is greater than it's ever been, and it actually has reached the level where you may never be able to turn it back. Well, looking at the housing situation, and by the way, Mr. Speaker, we're getting to the stage in New Zealand First where we actually think we've got a security problem, because it seems that every second day Labor is picking up one of our policies and trumping it as their own, and the thing that disappoints us more than anything is that the media print it. Well, we'd simply ask them, if you want the original Rolex, come to New Zealand First, don't go buying a cheap Singaporean model from the Labor Party.